the teacher gave each of us these workbooks.
Okay.
And they said, whatever you do, don't lose it because you're going to be using it for the entire year.
Okay.
Well, of course, I lose mine. And next thing I know, I'm being pulled into the hallway and I'm getting paddled. And it's with a board with holes in it.
You naughty little boy.
The views and opinions expressed by our guests are their own and do not reflect the views, positions, or endorsements of the Skittle Squad Podcast or its hosts.
Welcome to the Skittle Squad Podcast. We're glad you're here today. My name's David Smith, and I'm here with my fantastic co-host.
I'm Paul Pfeiffer.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
So Pac-Man's eating the planets today, huh?
Pac-Man is eating the planets, yes.
Do you remember playing Pac-Man back in the 80s?
Yes.
Was that the 80s, right?
Yeah,
I think it was
the
80s. That was Atari.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it Atari?
I think it was everywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure on Atari I had Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man's great.
Did you? I mean, I know me and my three siblings, we were like addicted to Pac-Man. Like we had that 24/7 playing. How about you?
I was not addicted to Pac-Man. I was addicted to Galaga.
Galaga.
I love that
Was
game.
that on like Sega?
That
or
was
something?
you were this gun thing at the bottom of the screen.
Oh,
and these things would fly down at you.
Yes.
I love that game. That was the
Yes.
one I played all the time.
Yeah, that was a little more of a Brainiac game. I could see you playing that.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the day when Pong was like the first.
Pong.
Pong.
Yeah, remember
All
Pong?
it was just two
two paddles
things,
moving back and forth.
and the ball would go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my very first video game.
Now, do you play any video games now?
No. Huh?
No. Okay. Because, it's interesting. I think there's almost like a secret or a hidden kind of world of people that play video games, but you just don't know.
Yeah. No, I never got into the gaming thing.
Yeah.
After,
Now, for the kids right now, because my nephew is 7, the big thing is Roblox. Have you heard of it?
Think I've heard of it, but I'm not
Okay.
quite sure.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay.
So get into the 2026 because you've got to know about it. Roblox is so huge. Like you think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I mean, it is really huge. My nephew spent $100 in Roblox in one day.
What?
Apparently you're able to buy virtual, I'm guessing, things. I don't even know what those things are. And he plays online with all of his friends. And so they're like chatting, talking to each other. Oh, it's a huge thing. Yeah, huge.
And his parents let him buy $100 worth of?
Well, it was all these gift cards he got for the holidays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because
but
I was like, if you're like a parent, because this used to happen. Remember when you had the cell phone and they would charge you for minutes?
Of course.
So, and you'd be terrified to get the cell phone bill because if your parents opened it and it was like really high, you knew you were going to be like in big trouble.
Right.
Like one time I had like a $400 or $500 cell phone bill.
Chatty Cathy.
And I was like grounded for ever
for
that.
Okay. Yeah, I was lucky because I actually worked for a cell phone company in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
So I got free cell phone service.
Okay.
Which back in the 90s was a huge thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was actually selling cellular phones when text messaging came out.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I remember we got a video and we played it in the store and it explained what text messaging was.
So did you have a phone? Like do you remember your first cell phone?
My first cell phone, it was almost a brick. It was kind of the brick. Was that your first cell phone?
I had the brick one. It was gray. And then you had to lower the thing to talk into and you had to raise the antenna.
Oh, wow.
Up. Yeah.
The raising of the antenna.
That was my very first.
Yeah.
And I thought I was so cool at the time because at the time I also had a beeper too. So I was like, oh, I've got a page. Let me call them on my cell phone.
So you've always been famous.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about back in the day, I know my first cell phone plan, I think it was like $29.95 a month. And I got 20 daytime minutes and 50 night and weekend minutes.
And you always had to wait. Like it was like, oh, I can't call anybody until after 9:00 at night because I'm going to get charged.
And then there was the unlimited nights and weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was, even back in the day, long distance.
Right.
Yeah. Remember AT&T, MCI. There was all these long distance companies. People used to have to pay for long distance calls.
Or to go even way back, like before Grindr and all that other stuff, like you would call a 900 number and leave a message and to hook up with other guys.
Oh, I never heard of that.
And they would charge you per minute. Like you would have, like, it was not unusual to have. And they used to do this with psychic lines too. Like, remember Miss Cleo?
Of course.
Like you would call her up and it'd be like $1.99 a minute.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't realize it until like when the phone bill came that you'd been talking to her for like 2 hours and your phone bill was like $1 million.
Were you like, Cleo, does this guy like me? Will we get together and get married?
And then you'd be like, oh, Mom, Dad, I don't know where those charges came from. It wasn't me. So then they'd have to argue with the phone company to get the charges reversed.
Like, oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, for sure. The 976 numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But there used to be a service where you would call and you would leave like a personal message.
Okay.
Almost like a personal ad.
Yeah.
And you would leave your phone number. And then if the guys liked you, they would call you.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of like.
So they would never see your picture. They would just hear your voice.
Old fashioned Grindr. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe give everyone what your voice sounded like.
Like it does now.
Oh, you didn't change it and try to make it like more sexy or, deeper.
No. I feel like you would have done that though.
Well, I really think
hi, my name is Dave. Leave a message after the beep.
If you want to know what a good time feels like, give me a call. I was too cheap to call those numbers. Way too cheap to call those numbers.
When you're an only child, you're always getting into trouble because you don't have brothers and sisters. Yeah. So it's like you always, and plus I was a cop's son. So, cop kids are rebellious. They're like preacher kids.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
You're only child, so you didn't have siblings to share toys with, to share your parents' attention with.
No.
But then I guess technically you had no one to share chores with.
Right.
You didn't have anyone to play with. So, I mean, I think growing up as an only child definitely, so different.
Yeah, it is for sure.
I mean, I had 3 younger sisters and we would play school and I would be the teacher. And I would give them I would give them assignments and homework and, they would have to complete their homework on time. And then I'd give them like a gold star on their homework. Oh yeah. I had a whole thing going with that.
So, when we went back to school, I don't know if you had this or not, but they could actually paddle you when you were in school.
I went to a Catholic school and they did paddle.
So in the 2nd grade, at the beginning of the year, the teacher gave each of us these workbooks.
Okay.
And they said, whatever you do, don't lose it because you're going to be using it for the entire year.
Okay.
Well, of course, I lose mine.
Oh.
So I stole one from the desk next to me, erased all of his name, the names, and then put my name on there. Well, they could see that it had been erased. And next thing I know, I'm being pulled into the hallway and I'm getting paddled. And it's with a board with holes in it.
It had a board. It was, yes. Oh my God. You got whipped?
Yes.
You naughty little boy. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, I was a sneaky person.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, I was really, when you were telling me that story, I was just wishing we had the budget for a department to do a reenactment of that. Like, I would love to have like little Paul, like in this classroom, like thinking you're really sneaky and kind of like erasing everything. And then we cut to the nun, or it was a nun or no?
No, it was a regular public
just
school.
Swatting you. Wow. So in regular public school,
they used to be able to do that.
That is crazy. Yeah. I think, I started, I don't know, I can't do math right now, but I graduated 8th grade in 87.
Oh, I was already out of high school then.
And I think by like 80, 81, they got rid of the paddle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I went to a Catholic school, and you want to talk about mean, those
Did they
nuns.
used to like hit you in the hands?
I didn't get hit, but I mean, they would get a ruler and oh yeah, those nuns, I mean, they don't get laid and they're pissed. Oh my God. I mean, they were just always just nasty.
My 5th grade teacher used to throw erasers.
Oh,
like
really?
if he caught you sleeping, he would throw an eraser at you and hit you in the head.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Wow. Yeah, the nuns were really, really bad. I did get in trouble with a couple of the nuns through the years. I know you're going to be shocked to hear that.
I know.
I think it was me being a smartass.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was crazy. So I yelled the word dynamite in the hallway when we were going to recess. And one of the nuns, I scared the nun really bad. And so the nun called me into her classroom after recess. And she had me stand in the back of the classroom. She was giving a spelling test, and I was there. I had just had to stand there and wait. So she was saying different words that the students then would have to write down. So one of the words was chalkboard. So she says, I'm so mad at this student standing here. I want to put his head through the chalkboard.
What?
And so me being compliant, I walked from the back of the room up to the chalkboard. And she looked at me and she said, well, what are you doing? I said, well, I want to be near the chalkboard so you can put my head through it.
Oh, my God.
And boy, oh boy, did those fifth graders in that classroom roar laughing. And she was pissed.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so those nuns were just mean.
I have a lot of good, like my geometry teacher in high school, her name was Dick Out.
Was what?
Dick Out. So we used to call her Whipper. And we would time it where everybody would drop their pencils all at the same time.
Okay.
And we would just torture her to death.
Oh.
And we would call her Whipper because her last name was Dick Out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to continue these stories on another Hot Topics because there is so many stories from my Catholic school
I was a
days.
rebel. I mean,
You were?
I was a rebel for sure. Yeah.
I wasn't too much of a rebel. I was pretty quiet when I was growing up.
Yeah. The stories I could tell.
Wow. All right. Well, that will be one of our next Hot Topics. So we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we're going to welcome our next guest, Samara and Kendall D'Angelo.
Yep.
They are from the Coven of D'Angelo Entertainment.
Yeah.
And I am really excited to chat with them and to learn all about what they do. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a minute.
Like, follow, and subscribe to the Skittle Squad Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and all social media platforms.
Welcome back. Today we're joined by two artists and producers reshaping the local drag landscape. Founders of Coven of D'Angelo Entertainment, champions of alternative and community-driven drag and creative forces behind weekly shows, viewing parties, and a growing male review. Please welcome Samara and Kendall D'Angelo. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
We're so excited for you guys to be here today. So maybe just talk a little bit about your journey, maybe into drag. Like what drew you to producing alongside performing?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I started drag about 2.5 years ago. It wasn't my first pick for creative expression. I originally wanted to do go-go and male review.
Okay.
But there was no opportunity for me to be able to do it. So drag was kind of the alternative. And that's what I started going into. I did a few open stages here and there, but I had a lot of other things going on in my life. And also I wasn't really satisfied with the offerings that, the scene had. So I'm like, you know what? I want to create my own thing. Samara is kind of what started my drag journey about 2.5 years ago. And then Coven of D'Angelo Entertainment, I started about, like a year ago, 1.5 years?
About, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's chat about the two of you. So you guys are a couple.
Yes.
Yes.
And you met about 2.5 years ago.
Yes.
Talk about that experience. Like, how did you meet?
Funny story. So when I am at a bar, I don't know if you guys ever been to Savoy, Orlando.
No.
So it's a bar kind of like in Orlando. That's where we started.
Okay.
So I think it was after a show one day, I was hanging out with friends, an after party kind of thing, going to Savoy. I meet this guy outside, thought he was a go-go boy. He's wearing this cute cowboy outfit. And basically from there, it's more of, I guess, like I was nervous. I'm like, I'm going to use my usual trick. How about we say, hey, how are you? Are you dating anyone? You're pretty cute.
So you just put it all out there. You put it on the line. Well, that sounds really straightforward, but you weren't, hiding, or you were just kind of like, hey, you're cute, I want to date you, kind of more or less.
Well, the way it went is I'm just sitting outside enjoying my drink. And then this one comes up to me and is, hey, you're cute, this and that. We start talking. And then there's one little bit where we start kissing each other. And he's like, oh, do you like pain? I'm like, yeah, I like pain. So he scratches me. And it was pretty weak. So I'm like, surely you could do better than that.
Okay.
And so he scratches me and I actually feel it. I'm like, there we go. Finally, someone who knows what they're doing.
Well, did he draw blood?
I think there might have been a little bit of blood drawn.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So you kind of knew what you were looking for.
Well, actually, I did not expect anything to sort of come from it long term. Mainly I just go out. Yeah, I like to flirt and be a tease, and what happens, happens. But ordinarily, when I leave the club or the bar, I kind of leave by myself because I just want to go home and go to bed. Yeah. Usually I had work the next day. So I kind of stay there because, I'm curious. I'm like, it's a fun interaction with a drag artist. I didn't really get that very often. So I'm curious to see where it goes. And then towards the end of the night, he's like, oh, I want to go home with you. And initially I'm like, I've got work tomorrow. It's late. I have work tomorrow. And then you basically, I'm going to say this nicely, start begging me to come home with me because you were going through some stuff. So finally I said yes.
I just had a fight with one of my best friends, Cameron.
Okay. So we go home, do what it is that two drunken gay men in their 20s do in a private bedroom. Mm-hmm. And then we exchange contact information and then we start talking from there.
Awesome.
And initially, my interest was I want to get into drag. I want to understand what it's like. And I think I found a suitable person to kind of guide me into that. And then the relationship aspect happened over time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started off as his drag mother at first. And then, as we get to know each other more, we start being boyfriends. And they're like, you guys can't really call each other drag mother and drag son, because he wanted to be a drag king. So I was like, you know what? You're my drag husband now. Let's both take the name D'Angelo.
Oh, got you. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I think the best relationships typically do start from friendship, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's awesome that you guys kind of had that. Talk a little bit about your company. What's currently happening? What are your goals for the future?
So currently we have our weekly drag show on Fridays. I think all of the upcoming shows are at in-person venues.
At in-person venues. One of our main ones we love to go to. If you've ever been to Hot Wax Ybor, it's like a Coven Kratom place.
Okay, I've heard of it.
And we've been starting at this, we just started last week with the viewing parties. If you guys ever seen RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
So we're actually starting with that and then doing a drag show right after. But I will say moving it to in-person venues from an online show also allows us to bring in different artists from the Central Florida scene as well.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit of the history, because you guys were mainly online at one point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that because of COVID or?
I started the company because I just kind of I wasn't satisfied with the state of the drag scene where I used to live.
Okay.
And I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. So I brought it up to him, and I
think we brainstorming that night or whatever.
Yeah, we were brainstorming. I said, well, we could just live stream drag shows so we can access drag artists who don't live in the local area, or people who aren't comfortable in bars and clubs, or people who just for some reason or another can't get in to the scene that they live in. Because one of the sort of, I guess, great paradoxes is, in order to become good at performing, you need to be able to perform. But considering that the number of venues where you can perform in person is so limited, they get to pick and choose who's allowed to be successful. So, you can't be successful if you don't have practice.
Yeah.
And so I started the company with the ambition of sort of providing that an area where people could perform and show their art and then get better over time.
And we also, like, the online shows allowed us to actually do all around, like, the country of, like, United States.
Right,
that's awesome. Yeah.
So it actually goes on YouTube. The thing that we do now, because we don't want to just, like, destroy the online part as well, but what we do now is the artists that want to perform, they sign up for, like, open stage online, or they can do it in person with the in-person venue if we have the in-person venue that week.
Yeah, the transition to in-person was something I was able to make happen. So I started coming to Tampa and St. Petersburg to explore the queer scene there, because again, I wasn't satisfied with what Orlando had to offer. And I started going to Thirst.
Okay.
And I was kind of talking over with some people of what I did, and then the owner hears what I'm doing, and she's receptive to it. So we start talking over details, and then I realized there is a serious opportunity to bring the shows in person, which is a big step, and it pushes our company forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, of course, did I rush into it a little quickly? Absolutely, I did, because I see an opportunity, I'm going to rush at it. But so, like, we have 1,000 followers on our Instagram.
Okay.
But that's from us doing it all over the country.
Okay.
So on paper, it looks like we have a decent number of followers given how young the company was.
Yeah.
But it's not local to the region. So we've had to learn a whole new set of lessons and ways of doing things for in-person shows.
Okay. So is part of your lessons Morgan Lachade?
We have yet to involve Morgan in any of our operations.
Yes, but he is one of our very good friends.
Yeah, I mean, we've had Morgan on the show, and he was a powerhouse.
Oh, for sure.
I really think that he probably really cemented our foundation as a podcast when he came on. But Morgan is also controversial.
Yeah, I've noticed.
And he will tell you how he feels.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think he once called me an old cunt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's very loving, but very direct at the same time. But we were saying earlier that I think the meaner he is to you, the more he likes you.
Yes.
Yeah, I've
and I really think, for the record, he is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, he's a real sweetheart. Although sometimes when he calls me that, I'm like, girl, really?
He comes into my DMs and he gives me crap all the time. So
yeah, one of my very first photo shoots in Florida was with Morgan. So
say that one. I'm sorry.
One of my very first photo shoots was with Morgan in Florida.
Oh, okay.
That's where you see that main profile picture from.
Well, actually, I mean, I think it's genius that you started online because your audience is bigger that way. You're not limited to just local.
Yeah.
You can showcase any talent anywhere in the United States. So it's actually a great idea that you came up with that initially, for sure.
Yeah. One of the biggest drawbacks, though, with streaming on YouTube is copyright.
For sure.
Yeah,
We've gotten a lot of strikes, but we still got over it, though.
Yeah.
So for someone coming to see one of your Friday night shows, what can they expect? So I'm going to just be naive, be very transparent, and be real. I'm not too familiar with this area of the community. So maybe for people listening, what can they expect?
Well, it's hard to define what you can expect because we book so many different artists.
Okay.
We could have artists that are glam. We could have artists that are alternative. Sometimes we've had, go-go dancers and male entertainers.
Okay.
We've had people who've done live singing.
Oh, cool.
Sometimes we have artists where I can't even classify what it is they are.
Okay. Well, that's helpful for people to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're really showcasing a really big variety of different types of people.
Yeah. And, when you come to a show, what you see there, except with the exception of house cast and the hosts, the other artists that we book, you might not see them again.
Okay.
You might see them again.
Yeah.
So, it's important to, come to the show, enjoy what you see, because one of my core philosophies is we want to keep the talent rotating. So it's always fresh and we can be receptive to new forms of art. Art is an ever evolving thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's, acceptable and mainstream today might not be that way tomorrow.
Right.
And we're always looking for, where is this art form going and who's pushing the boundaries?
Mm-hmm.
I also will say this, and to back up Morgan's point, because I remember us having a conversation one day about how both of our companies kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
We don't actually, how he does Shade Showcase, he allows the artists that don't always have a spot to go to be able to perform. We like to do the same thing with our company. And I guess that's where I got with like Kendall is we accept the big artists, but we need to also give opportunities to others that might not have the same opportunities as the artists that are getting booked all the time.
Yeah.
It goes back to what Kendall said, just as far as like, if you can't perform anywhere, how can you get better?
Yeah.
Right.
So you guys do shows on Fridays. Is it like the first Friday of the month, or do you have a schedule? It's every Friday.
Yes.
Okay, so folks can find you guys at Thirst.
Not Thirst. So we're like coming up with this next 2 weeks. So we are actually, I don't know when this podcast is going to be released, but next 2 weeks. So this Friday we're at Hot Wax. Next Friday we're at Hot Wax.
Okay.
Then we're in St. Pete for All 5 Elements. Then we're at Hot Wax again. Most of the opportunities we've had focused on is going to different venues in St. Pete and Tampa, because we find that allows everyone to come to these like events as well.
Okay, that's great. So you guys are really, really performing on both sides of the bridge.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's pros and cons to performing at multiple different venues. With multiple different venues, we get a lot of market breadth. A lot more people are exposed to what we do from various different groups, particularly like Kava and Kratom. There's a huge untapped market for that particular group. But then the downside is we don't get a lot of depth.
Okay.
So one of the goals that I have in the midterm is, can we secure a venue that's kind of like our home venue that we could get a lot of depth in? Because we get a lot of market depth, and we could get away with, like, I want to be able to charge cover at some point,
right? Because
these shows are expensive and I pay for all of them. I want us to be able to start making money and making a profit so we can do more of it.
What would you tell performers that maybe feel boxed out of maybe the traditional spaces, or maybe they want to be in one of your shows?
Well, if you want to be in one of our shows,
you can always reach out to me, because I'm the entertainment director. But I will say this to like performers: we accept everyone. We just want to see what kind of art you're going to bring. And I remember getting a message that I showed you yesterday on our TikTok.
Yeah.
Saying that there's a performer that's never done like art or like drag or anything, but they've always wanted to start performing. And I think that Coven brings that space to them, so they're allowed to show their art to people that can actually celebrate that artistry.
Yeah. And even if you're an artist where like you live somewhere where you can't perform in person, or you want to perform in person, if all of the traditional methods for being able to perform are kind of closed to you, start doing research, try to find, what venues are available. Are there any, bars or other spaces that might be receptive to this? Call around, if all the doors are closed, grab a pickaxe, break down a wall, make your own door. And sure, it's risky, it's time consuming, and it's expensive. And statistically speaking, you'll probably fail a few times, but make your own door, build it, get better, and eventually you will find success, and you will be in control of that success. And then you can help other people who might be in the same situation find their way.
Yeah, that's one reason we love highlighting just different people on the show, is because typically what we're finding, just talking with so many people in the community, is those folks like you, where you try to create a space for what you want because you haven't found it yet. And so just highlighting people in the community really, really doing something even behind the scenes like you guys are doing. So that's really great.
Yeah.
For folks that want to find you, it sounds like you have a TikTok, like Instagram, like how do they find you guys online?
Well, Samara is the CMO all the way. He's the CEO of the company.
Okay.
Just to like get that out of the way.
CEO? What are we, publicly traded on the
But yeah, without him, he does all of the like finances. But I will say, to find us, what I have set up, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and as well as Facebook, because I just started that one too. All at Coven of D'Angelo Entertainment.
Excellent. And then it sounds like your big following is on Instagram right now, or is it TikTok?
It's Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram. Okay. And then when you guys are doing online, is it just was it on Instagram, or did you guys have?
So we actually did our shows thanks to a lucky program we were just talking about, OBS. Mm-hmm. Kendall, do you want to talk about technology?
Well, with the in-person shows, we haven't been streaming them recently, just because we've been moving around, and to stream it, we have to bring equipment for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we do have a sort of home venue, or at least a set of venues that we know will be receptive to that, then we can start live streaming again. And typically we live stream on YouTube.
Okay.
When we used to do it online, I used OBS.
Okay.
That was pretty easy. Literally, we did it in our bedroom. And I had like a bunch of scenes set up. I could transition between them for tip slides, for online performers, pre-records. A lot of the artists who sent stuff in, you don't even have to be online. You could just send us 2 videos of you performing.
Okay.
And we'll put that on the stream and showcase it.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I think now that still happens. So we do open stage, like as an online show, they'll be able to send like 1 video per artist, have that online as the pre-show, but also there's an open stage that we have after our main show at the like venue for people who do live in Florida.
Okay.
But I feel like going back to what Kendall just said, so me and I'll announce him as FL Nightlife, Patrick, who does all of our production. Thank you. He actually is able to record our not only viewing party now for like the Drag Race viewing party called Hellfire, but he's actually able to record the show as well, depending on wherever we go. He always has his cameras available.
Oh, that's good.
Good.
Yeah, definitely good to record your shows for sure. So I wish you guys all of the success in the world. The Skittle Squad podcast wants to help you guys, so we definitely need to stay in touch and continue collaborating.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yes.
So maybe if you had one final takeaway for the audience today, maybe a message or something that they've heard us talk about today, what do you think that would be, or what would you like to say?
I guess it kind of goes back to what I said about making your own door. At the end of the day, a lot of people are going to say no to you. Practically maybe everyone says no to you. But the yes that's most important is the yes that you tell yourself. When every other door closes, you make your own. If all the paths are blocked, you make your own path. If there's obstacles, you get over them. It's a process of improvement and eventually finding success. I think it was Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times to invent the light bulb, but it was that one time, with the 1,001st time, that mattered. So once you find success, that will be significantly more impactful than whatever rejection you might have received. So you always keep trying and you don't give up.
I absolutely love that message. The determination that you both have is just it's just remarkable. Yeah, I could feel the energy of determination. So I love that. And Paul and I both know that sometimes you do get told no.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Paul, for folks that want to find the Skittle Squad podcast, how can they do that?
So if you'd like to be a guest on the Skittle Squad podcast, or you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, you can reach us at contact@theskittlesquad.com.
Thank you both for being on today.
Thanks for having
us.
For all of our subscribers to YouTube, for all of our followers, please follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share with your family and friends. It makes a huge difference. And we'll see you next time. Bye.